Hello everybody, this is Capitalist from Join Dota. I have with me Sheever from Sheevergaming, I guess. We are here at the last day of DreamHack. We are just before we're getting into the last match, or the consolation final rather, the Cloud9 versus Virtus Pro. How have you felt the tournament has gone so far?
So far, I mean, yesterday was a bit of a disappointment with only 2 O's, but so far it has been going really well, especially the group stages. I think had a lot of amazing games to watch and a lot of surprises as well, so it was good.
Has any team really impressed you so far? I mean, even going back into stage 2, has any team really impressed you with their performance?
Well, of course, I mean, Virtus Pro is here with the last final 3, and I think a lot of people were not expecting that. Yeah. And I mean, they surprised in a good way. I think Team Tinker is surprised in a bit of a bad way. They kind of are underwhelming in this tournament, and they seem to be having a few issues that they are needing to work out. And yeah, for me, I mean, obviously, group stage or stage 2 had 4ASC. And they are definitely a story for this tournament, and they're really a fun team to watch. So also a very pleasant surprise.
So this is your second tournament doing a, well, actually it's a third tournament, right? Because you started off, your very first hosting gig was TI, correct?
Yes.
And then you had DreamHack Bucharest, which you did on stage hosting, and then this one, which is obviously a lot more hosting than Bucharest was. So you've made that transition from doing commentating to hosting pretty much. Do you plan on continuing to mainly focus on being a host now?
Well, I still cast as well, but I like hosting a lot as well. So basically I go wherever I can, and in terms of casting, I mean, I think I'm a better host because I cast, and then I know more about the game, so I plan on doing both.
Okay, so what about, you started out at TI, and obviously, I mean, you have a pretty prolific stream that you stream quite often, so that gives you some experience. You said commentating makes you a better host, but when you first started out at TI, that was really your first time doing any kind of hosting. How did you kind of prepare for that?
Well, I did some form of hosting at StarLadder, where I was basically doing interviews between games, what kind of turned out to be hosting-like-ish. Of course, I mean, I host my own stream. It sounds really stupid, but I mean, if I'm casting like before, after the game, basically that is hosting as well. In terms of preparation, I just watched a lot of games. Yeah. I write notes, and I try to find interesting things to talk about. I try to talk to people that might have interesting things to talk about that I might have not have thought of otherwise, and I do give them credit, so that's good too. Don't bring them up as my own points, and yeah, basically I just try to know a lot about the team and about the players as well, because mostly that's what people want to know. They want to know the stories behind the actual play, behind the players themselves. They want to get to know the personalities behind them. So
what about previous hosts? Like, did you actually check out any other hosts, like before you started with TI, or maybe this event? Did you look at any other hosts and go like, okay, I see what they're doing, I want to be like that? Or did you just come into it going, I'm going to bring my own personality?
A bit of a combination. I looked at other hosts, obviously. I looked at other tournaments, how they do, and not even Dota specific, like just any kind of game. I saw Red Eye hosting at ESL, and I liked the way he did things, although I would aim to be more of a less strict host. Like, he is very
he's very structured.
He's very professional and structured, and I want to be a bit more having a bit of a relaxed feel than that, I guess, if I can call it that. I mean, he does an amazing job, don't get me wrong, but like, he was one of the ones that I look towards, because I mean, he is basically the esports host, right? Esports host father, I don't know. But yeah, I just looked at a lot of things, but mostly I try to do my own thing, because I don't want to copy anybody. I just want to be me when I am there, because if I would copy someone trying to host, I wouldn't be able to last very long. Yeah.
So you actually brought up a point in my last question. You said that it was kind of important for you to talk to some of the players and get some of their perspective. And I think that's something that I remember watching an interview with Red Eye, and he said that's one of the most important things about hosting, is being able to sit down with the players beforehand and really get a personal feel with them. And I take it that's something you've done with this tournament quite a bit. Do you have any stories that of some of the players that from these last couple of tournaments?
Well, I have some stories, but most of them I can't share. So
of course. I know. For you.
But it's mostly like exactly like you say, and I mean, not only getting the story from the players, but also being able to translate that into hosting, into basically having people that watch getting the same feel for personality, which is actually really difficult this event, because it's very busy. It's very like there's a lot of games per day, and basically, like, for example, yesterday, but more so the day before. I was like, okay, we're back on the panel, and now we go to commercial. We're back on the panel. We're going into the game. We're back on the panel, into commercial. And, there's not a lot of time to talk about really any specific. And you have to also let your panel members also talk. So there's not been that much time to actually discuss the team. But I think that the player introductions that they do here, I think that's really nice. Just to remind people which player is which person, which hero they saw amazing performance with, which they can remember. Oh yeah, that was that guy, and he did well. And basically that's been mostly what I'm focusing on right now. In terms of stories, though, I don't really know any specific stories like that.
That's fair enough. So I know you're going to need to get back to the stage real quickly. So I just have 2 more questions. We have 3 more teams left. Who's your prediction to win DreamHack?
I mean, is anybody?
It's got to be Evil Geniuses.
Yeah,
that's what everybody has said, of course. Yep. Yeah. So pretty firmly in the Evil Geniuses camp. Well,
yeah. I mean, my brain tells me that, but I really want VP to win.
Okay.
Because I mean, what an amazing story that would be, right? And I mean, they have shown not only good play, but also they were one of the teams that got a shout out. There was a shout out thread, I think, the first week of the group stage, just saying, "Hey, awesome that the Russian players or the CIS players are taking the time to sit there and talk English to their fans and basically giving the Western crowd and personality around them without by them actually understanding what they say." So it's having them talk and basically, creating more personalities, something like that. My sentence totally got messed up there.
All right, and what about, we'll wrap it up here. Any shout-outs you want to give?
Well, my sister's over there, and she would kill me if I didn't say shout out or follow me or like me on facebook.com/Sheevergaming, because she handles that one. I've also started an Instagram, which is Sheever, because Sheever was taken. And follow me on Twitter on @Sheevergaming.
You want to give a shout out to your sister?
Shout out to my sister. She's right there.
There you go, Reed.
I'm under pressure
here. There you go. All right, guys. That's going to be it. Capitalist, of course, from Join Dota, Sheevergaming. And we have more interviews, of course, from the last day of DreamHack, youtube.com/JoinDotaPlus.